Right then. A cocoon, so not a golem. More than likely it'll be a spider that drops from the ceiling and tries to rip out his throat. Or not. Perhaps Victor was getting too paranoid of everything in here. It was true most things in here wanted to kill him, but there was always, of course, the possibility that fate was going to cut him some slack on occasion. He wanted to hit himself just thinking that. Of course they wouldn't. He was just getting lucky, that's all. He was sure fate was going to make up for it in the next couple rooms, or against the lich that he was certain to be facing shortly. Having reacquired himself, that's not the word I was looking for, but that distracted me. He could hear the sounds of summoning or some other form of magic going on within, and sure enough, a skeleton warrior. Great. Well, he was going to put that down as quickly as possible. Oh, two of them, even better. He was very excited. In fact, so excited that he might do this. Ow. And he has nowhere to run, really, so it might come down to, he'd forgotten about his gem as well. That would certainly help him. He would like to save that for the lich, though, as much as possible. Instead, a potion will have to do. Nope, what are you doing? Controls, please. Drink the potion. Quickly before you die, because you will. I suppose I should hotbar those. If I'd been thinking earlier, I'd have done that much sooner. Now that the inventory has gotten so clogged up. Okay, try to make some distance. And that's why. Oh, wow. They killed the spider already. Good lord, they hit hard. Is that another one? Do they just never stop? Have I doomed myself? Might have doomed myself. Alright. Well, if I've doomed myself, then I need to... Oh, good lord. I will need to do some changes here. Kill it, Victor. I believe in you. Okay. No, don't drop your guard. Good lord. This is why you're not a warrior, Victor. Although I admit you are getting better at this. But you've been slowly getting better this entire time. So I don't think that warrants him getting too cocky. Oh. That's a chieftain. I don't think Victor has a way to deal with that, really. Except to do that. Oh good, Victor can't get through. Which renders that pointless. There we go. Okay. Okay. Lead with that. No, no, no. Well, looks like you're not getting much of a choice, Victor. Okay. Is that the end of it? I was afraid this was going to be a never-ending storm of undead, but it looks like after the chieftain died, it's finished. Now the fountains are empty. Perhaps they were giving life to the skeletons, in which case, not very happy about that. Oh. We have one more room for Victor to check. Pathing, please. Another close call for Victor. He's going to use the effects of the potions as long as he could, since he was forced to wear them. A skeleton chieftain that appeared to be worshipping the tombstones? Paul, he did not die of mortal sin, 'twas the music that did him in. Noel, here lies the one-time king of all who died because he grew too tall. Something tells him that these are possibly not serious things. Now, will you speak to me? It will. At last, something here that lives. Please, you must help me. Who are you? I don't know. I was summoned here long ago, my quests interrupted to perform some service for the king. I don't remember what. I remember nothing, it seems. Nothing. No, he's clearly doesn't remember anything, so he's not going to ask that. What are these quests that you were interrupted? These quests that were interrupted. What were they now? I was seeking out a woman called the Night Hag, I think. Lord, was it a stone? No, no, it was a young elf who wore the same uniform as I. Oh, I don't know. Time has left this skull an empty shell. What king do you speak of? There were two kings, I think. I served two masters, one here in this world and one in the last. That last one, I was to tell the king that she is dead. But who is this she? If only I could remember. If only I could return. These two aren't really any help, so surely you must remember something. Nothing except in my dreams I still see my prince's hand outstretched toward mine. The sounds of battle all around us in the night. Nothing more. Nothing more. I'm sorry, I cannot help you. Perhaps there is no help for me. Perhaps I am cursed to linger here forever amongst these graves, cut off from the world I loved the most. Even so, I can't help but think that there must be a way. Every problem is but a puzzle to be solved. Our reality is but a game with hidden rules. If one can discern them, suddenly all things become possible. Once he was the king's taste tester, till a poisoned meal left him to fester. This is interesting. I assumed that possibly I could take him with me, but it doesn't appear that way. I think and think, but there is nothing. All that was once wise within this skull has long since rotted from the bone. My king and quests now all forgotten. I mean, should I put it down? Victor's not entirely certain. But lingering here, timeless and without any information and no master to serve, is certainly not the way about it. But he clearly doesn't wish to die, or he'd just ask for that, so no. That's unfortunate. Wish you could do more with him. But he clearly isn't hostile. Still not quite something that Victor was comfortable just laying down near. He certainly needs to recover his strength, however, so he will find a safe area and rest. Recover his spells, recharge his items, rememorize his spells, and regather his ingredients. And then he will continue further up. And once he reached the other side, now was the time to deal with what he assumed to be a lich. Oh, well, that is not a lich. Not in any way, in fact. Okay. Interesting. It doesn't appear to be attacking him either, like the last wind that he faced. Did the poles have something to do with it? There were plenty of bones around, so he assumed something to do with them? Was it going to raise the dead and sick them on him? That seemed very likely, but only when he attacked. How troublesome. Well, at worst, he could enhance himself and see where things went. Perhaps using a different stave? Didn't appear to be of any good. Oh, jeez, that... Ow. Even with stone skin, huh? That greater one's no joke. Alright, well, let's see about this. That was relatively effective. It's still not dead, but, you know. Good lord. Oh, the green aura is gone. Does that mean it can be attacked? So it would appear. Fantastic. Quicker, quicker, Victor, quicker. Well, that was pointless. Ah, I see how this works now. Right then. We might be taking another break just because this is going to be a very, very slow thing to deal with, which is great. Alright, well, let's clarify that. Quicker, Victor, or not. So it can only be hurt when the green aura is down, but it still has spell resistance and damage reduction. So even when it is vulnerable, quote unquote, Victor still can't hit it and do damage. That sounds right. Okay. Well, Victor's going to be in for a very long haul, it would seem. I will come back once I actually manage to kill this thing, I suppose. Well, Victor just had a very bad time again. He was brought down to 10 hit points. Luckily, I didn't have to use the potions. I thought I would have to near the end of that. That took so long, and I apologize that the character is being broken so much. I believe that took, yeah, that took an hour. I have been sitting here running around in circles for an hour. Slowly beating it down because Victor's crossbow could not do it harm. His spells could do nothing against it, and the undead, eventually, his buffs ran out. I was about to have to do it again, and then I decided that I was just going to have him run around. So that's all he did. He ran through them, and he smacked the wind whenever the green stuff went away, and that was just my life for the past hour. So, I apologize that you probably didn't see much of that. I don't even know how much of that I'll put in, if anything. Because that was the most unentertaining. I stopped even narrating. I just wanted it to be over. uh, so, with that out of the way. If the last battle had been difficult, this one had been nearly impossible. Even with an ally, he wasn't entirely certain he could have done anything with that. It would have been entirely up to Dorna. In a way, he wasn't sure he could have even made sure she survived through this. And that was an even more depressing thought. Beaten, cut, trodden, dirty, smelling of death, absolutely mentally exhausted, Victor really wanted a bath. He really wanted time alone, and he wasn't going to get any of that. There was too much he still had to do here. It did bring up the idea of how in the world he was even going to get home after all this, but there was also the possibility he wouldn't, he supposed. Glancing down at the finally defeated Dead Wind. The Dead Wind, once the ruler of the crypts of Undertide, has now been captured and encased behind glass. They animate dead when used today. Ugh. Victor wants a nap. So do I. Well, now that he's pushed himself to the limit and endured plenty of suffering, Victor is ready to continue on once more. He is most certainly returning to the Lizard Man's camp, selling his things and resting because he is beyond exhausted. And he feels like an entire herd of buffalo ran him over. Oh, great. And of course, he missed a few spiders. Luckily, compared to what he's been dealing with, he's not too concerned. It was good that he really hadn't had a use for any of his items up to this point. It would make dealing with these damn things much easier. It was refreshing being able to just use his items and spells properly in order to cut down his opponents. Wasn't quite a sensation he'd been able to enjoy for quite a while. He supposed he could drop off these orbs as well, but he wasn't sure if he'd have to fight some guardian or other opposition. For now, he would content himself returning to the Nasabi camp and giving the lizard men some things in return for gold, and then sitting the hell down behind a relatively safe wall while the entire city shook around him. It was going to be a very, very long final battle, he had a feeling. Just, just shut up, please. I need supplies. Then with that, Victor's little escapade would end. he'd return to it once he didn't feel absolutely miserable.
Hello everyone, and thank you for watching. If you enjoy my videos and don't want to miss out on future content, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. If you'd like to support me on a more personal level, offer recommendations, chat with me, or vote on future series, then consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. Thank you once again for all your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next chapter of our story.